Modelled directly from the Rhodes Mark VIII, the Rhodes V8 Preamp section features volume, envelope, drive, and low and high EQ knobs, along with a classic Vari-Pan effect. There are modern twists here which you won't find on any Rhodes piano prior to the Mark VIII. The volume dial affects the gain of the signal level, with no drive applied. This control is placed at the end of the signal path, so we'll use it throughout to compensate for gain changes caused by the preamp and effects. Throughout the instrument, you can return any dial to its default value by Alt or Option clicking on it. The drive knob can be used to add anything from subtle saturation to more intense fuzz-style distortion. The character of the drive responds to the velocity of the notes you're playing. The low and high bands of the EQ section let you cut and boost high and low frequencies. Boosting the low knob adds a rich warmth to the low end of the sound. And turning it down thins things out. On the other side, the high knob can add definition to the high frequencies. Or dull them down. You'll feel the effects of both the low and high control differently depending on where along the register you're playing. Between those high and low bands, the mid frequencies are taken care of by a sweepable mid-band EQ, which is adjusted using two controls. Gain, which sets the amount of cut or boost, and frequency, which selects where along the keyboard that cut or boost is centered. The envelope knob is a new Rhodes feature for the Mark VIII. If there's gain applied to the EQ's midband and the envelope knob is turned up, the EQ's frequency is modulated by the level of the incoming notes. This is like an amount to filter control you might find on a synth. To get a feel for how the envelope sounds, start by turning the midband's gain up to full and its frequency down to minimum. Essentially, this is an auto-wah effect, animating the midband based on your playing velocity. But you can also turn the band's gain down to create a moving scoop in the same way. We'll return to this in more detail in a later video, showing you some more ways you can put the envelope response to good use. Modulation is an essential part of the Rhodes sound and featured famously on Rhodes suitcase pianos, which sat atop a 4x12 dual power amped cabinet. Although for stage models, players would employ external effects pedals to get this sound. The Mark 8 has an inbuilt Vari-Pan setup, and so the V8 is no different. When you turn up the Vari-Pan depth dial, the sound starts panning between left and right. Rate controls the speed of that movement. You can adjust the shape of the panning movement by selecting between 4 waveforms. Square, which moves almost instantly between sides. A ramp, which moves in one direction and then repeats. Triangle, which bounces between the sides. And sine, which moves smoothly between sides. The Vari-Pan section even has the ability to modulate into the audio rate, but we'll show you how that sounds and how to use it in our next video.